Are you tired of losing gunfights in Warzone? In today's video, we're breaking down gameplay from two of the best Warzone players out there. One on Rebirth, one on Verdansk, focusing on how they never lose their 1v1 so that you can stop losing yours. Let's lock in. So we're going to start this off on Rebirth here, guys, breaking down gameplay from one of the best Resurgence players out there, one of the best Warzone players out there, Knight. You see right here, #1 ranked Resurgence player in the world. On top of that, this game, he's actually playing on a different account where he's solo queued to Iridescent. These two guys are random teammates. He doesn't even have comms with them. This game in particular was a diamond lobby. And throughout this entire game, all we're going to do is ask how. Like, how did he win that gunfight? We're going to break down how. Now, let's get the obvious thing out of the way. The answer to how is always going to be aim. That's the most important thing. And aim is one of the easiest things for you to improve at. But I want to focus on everything else. All of the other things that he does that allows him to consistently win gunfights. Now, of course, in this situation right here, the first thing that we look at is basic movement. We're caught a little bit out in the open. Now, if you are subscribed and watch my videos, a lot of times we talk about this strafing, but also throwing in a jump as well to change that level. We're going to see this a lot throughout this gameplay. Knight just strafes. He just keeps it as simple as possible. He stays on the same plane. He's able to win that gunfight, at which point we're going to get played up and figure out what our next move is. Okay, so we're just going to loot up early game here. We're obviously trying to get that loadout down. Now, in his case, he actually has an LC-10, so we don't really need... We want to get loadout, but we also know that we can win gunfights with what we have now. That's something that is super, super important. What do we got here? Now, that's a pretty easy one, but how? Okay? Now, how actually goes back to here, right? So right here in this moment, he hears shooting. His eyes go to minimap. He sees this guy fighting his teammate over here. Okay? So, and even as he pushes up, he ends up seeing this guy right here. Now, this is really important. Instead of pushing this way here, where this guy could potentially shoot him out in the open, again, Knight does not have a long-range gun right now to be able to fight. What Knight does is he actually circles around this way to give himself a little bit more cover with this shack, at which point he can challenge across here. So one of the really, really big things is kind of how you kind of approach fights and take angles. And now, obviously, from here, he's in a much better position with the LC-10. He's in a much better range. And then we just see the strafing. Strafing to increase that rotational aim assist. By the way, guys, if you are looking to get better at Rebirth, I always say this, give me 30 days. Subscribe down below, watch my videos. Wait, why did he look in that corner? Watch my videos. I promise you'll become a better player. If not, after 30 days, you can always unsubscribe. I totally get it, but I guarantee you that's not going to happen. Now, this is a really, really big dynamic. We see this dot right here, okay? So this dot is above him in the corner of Big Living, okay? Now, what level is he on? Is he on the roof or is he on second floor? Knight doesn't know, so Knight's going to clear it. This is an area that a lot of you guys struggle. Notice that Knight clears it. Now, the moment that the guy is not in this corner, where is he? Well, at that point, we 100% pretty much know that he's on the rooftop, and we can figure out what our next move is. And also notice how quick he reacts to that, right? Watch. He is straight in, right? He sees that solo dot. He's already working towards his next fight. How many of you guys stop and loot in that situation? And you, like, make sure you get the cash and make sure you get, oh, what gun does he have? Does he have an Ames? Does he have this gun? And it's like, no, Knight just immediately works his way towards that next fight. Oh my gosh, he's going. Now, that is actually one of the few times that we're going to see him jump. Notice that he knows this guy's on the roof. This is a little bit of a risky push here, especially because we don't know if this guy has a gun. Sometimes there is a crate right here. So if this guy has a gun, Knight's in a really bad spot. I'm kind of surprised that he took this fight. But this is where sometimes we have to move first and shoot second. Knight obviously jumps. You can see that this guy's aiming this way. And that's where we use movement to ultimately take less damage, which we saw in the first gunfight as well. Two guys flying in above. One guy over this way. Broken. Oh my gosh, that guy was so one-shot. Multiple teams here. Nice. Nice. So, few things to break down in this situation. First of all, we already see on radar that there's multiple teams over here, right? This is the weapon pings that we really want to be picking up on, which tells us there's teams. Nobody just shoots their gun in the air. So if you see the weapon pings, we know that there's people over here. And that starts with your ears, guys. That starts with audio. We hear the shooting first. Ready? Hold on. There's the shooting. We hear the shooting, then we see it. Now we're going to go in and work across. And one of the other big things that we're going to focus on, he plays patient here, is this hip fire dynamic. You see him just kind of hip fire through there, a little bit of strafing. We're actually going to see that again here in a second. One guy out below. Yep, perfect. And now he's just going to chill. Is he going next building over? Yep. Let's see how he clears it. Yeah, we see the hip fire right there. Okay, I want to really slow this down. That's definitely a good player right there. And watch how Knight wins this gunfight. Okay, so we see this guy slide and watch the hip fire. I'm going to slow this down for you. This is where we hip fire, but a lot of you guys are one of two ways. Either you only ADS, or some of you guys just way overcommit to hip firing, and you need to work on sort of that in and out of like hip fire to ADS, hip fire to ADS. So there he's ADS, then he's hip fire to track, then he's ADS'd again, then he's hip fire again. Now once he's recentered on that enemy, he's able to go ahead and get that down. Now it happens super quick, but the reality is we are more accurate when aimed down sight. So yes, hip firing allows us to get that first shot. It allows us to retrack that enemy and recenter our crosshairs. But we ultimately do need to aim down sight as well.
What the hell?
Good mini-map here. Right? Automatically working. And I want you guys to really focus on that mini-map dynamic. I want you to overlook at the mini-map. This guy's inside here. Where is he? Knight's playing. Why is he playing outside right here? Why is he playing outside? Because he's expecting this enemy, instead of chasing, right? Because we know that if we go back to here, okay, we know the guy, okay, if we go all the way back to here, right? Okay, we know this guy's in this second building, right? The one closest to factory here. Okay, so Knight immediately works his way over. He's going to plate up as he's kind of working that direction here. Then as he jumps out the window, he's going to catch a quick little glimpse of this guy right here. He's going to see a little bit of movement. So he knows that he's in this building. Now, the natural place for this guy to go if he's going to try to get away is to push down to factory or push down to this building, right? So we kind of use our IQ here to think ahead and say, okay, we think that we know that this guy's in this building somewhere, right? And if he's going to try to leave, he's going to go this way or this way. So what Knight's going to do is cut that off. And then obviously once he's not here, once this guy doesn't pop up, now we know that he's inside and we can go ahead and challenge. Watch the hip fire. And that's a really, really good example there of the re-challenge. And then you can obviously see he ends up being aimed down sight. Two guys down below. Is he going to work down there? I think he's going to play smart here because he's kind of... He obviously, when he's solo queuing, he kind of has to keep his team alive. If he dies, that could be game over. So he's trying to play a little bit smart. I mean, he's minus 81 SR. And by the way, even if you don't play ranked, guys, we're still talking about how to win gunfights here. They have enough for loadout. One guy down below. Yeah, that's an immediate challenge. Holy smokes. How did he win that gunfight? Okay, well, two things here. Okay, again, not focusing on aim. Number one, when we see smoke trail, this means two things. Okay, very simple. Number one, plates, right? Because this guy only has two. And then number two is gun, right? Because he has a gun. He's got floor loot gun. He's got the gun that he's flying in with. Both of these things right here are a huge advantage. And remember, when we keep the pressure on teams, right? When we go and kill this guy, then it gives us this information. We know that it's a 1v2 because we just took one enemy out of the fight. We kind of keep the pressure on that team and don't let them stack up. Little bit of strafing right there. Obviously, no jump. Again, we don't see a jump there. It's just a straight strafe. That's something that I'm really going to focus on myself, and I want you guys to really work on is, hey, keep that movement simple. I'm surprised they're not getting loadout here. You know, I would always recommend you guys to prioritize loadout because at the end of the day, I'm going to keep this as simple as possible, guys. Do you feel more comfortable with the floor loot gun or your loadout gun? Like, do you feel more comfortable and are you able to win more gunfights with perks or without perks? Like, just the more we can fight with loadout, the better off we're going to be. He's at 8 kills already here. Is that guy straight down lane? Yeah, he was. One up top. Basic strafing. That's not actually Biffle, right? How did he win this gunfight? This is just... Watch him strafe right. Yep, that's it. That's that strafing dynamic. How do you know that guy was there? That guy's not on his team, but this is this information dynamic where, hey, we see this guy right here. We see this guy right here. Those guys are actually on this guy's team, but you also have to pick up on this information right here and figure out that, hey, that's our next move. You know, we're in a really good spot here. This guy's on the boat. He's stuck on the boat. He's not really in a good spot over there, so we can go ahead and figure out where our next move is and how to challenge him. Watch him find different angles here, right? He doesn't just sit and hold that first window. He's trying to find the angle. He knows his teammates are holding down that window well. So look at how he's trying to find a different angle to be able to challenge this guy. Finally, yep, there you go, right? Now, obviously, that's straight aim, right? That is just absolutely straight aim. There was not much strafing there. So he's still not gotten loadout yet. Oh, above. Wait, did he get loadout? Maybe not. What's the number one thing you have to be thinking about right here? A lot of you guys forget this. Don't forget that when your teammate dies, right? I always tell you guys to challenge with momentum, figure out where that next enemy is, you know, let's put the pressure on. But don't forget that when your teammate dies, this enemy right here sees where you are, right? This enemy gets dots as well. I know it sounds obvious, but so many of you guys forget it. So many of you guys immediately go, hey, we're going to push right up the stairs and right to where this guy was. And then next thing you know, this guy flies around the corner and challenges you and gets first shot. And you're like, what the heck? What just happened? And it's like, he has minimap pings as well. So far, guys, we've really focused on basic movement. We've really focused on that hip firing. I also want to really we focused on information, right? Those are kind of the three huge takeaways right now when it comes to winning those gunfights. And then I want to focus on centering as well. Look at his patience right here. I think he's a little nervous because it's only his teammate alive. He only has one teammate alive. Yeah, that's just so much patience right there. I mean, how many of you guys push it right here? I think I push right here, to be honest with you. I think I would have challenged there. Knight plays really patient. Then this guy commits, right? This is where we talk about where are you susceptible. We talked about it very early on when we talked about how Knight took the angle back at living quarters, right? This guy is just, he's got nowhere to go. You know, he maybe can get to here. You know, maybe he can get to here, but, you know, this guy's in a really bad spot right there, and we, of course, have our teammate right there with us. That's where you always have to, by the way, that was a Crim player. That was a Crimson player. That's where we always have to keep in mind, like, those angles and really be aware of, like, when we're susceptible to, because of how fast the TTK is, right? When you get caught out in the open, there's nothing that you can do with how fast the TTK is. Now we start to rock and roll with info. Look at that right there, right? Look at this. This is actually, there's two things I want to highlight, okay? Number one, we see this guy. Now, this is map knowledge, okay? And understanding that there's a good chance that this guy is right here above the stairs, right? That would technically be above Knight, exactly where this guy is. Here's the crazier part. Watch. That guy's flying in. Right? So Knight is, because again, if the arrow's above, we have no idea whether he's flying, whether he's one level above us, 2 levels, all the way on rooftop, flying in. We have no idea. Knight still anticipates based off that minimap ping. What do we got here? One guy, Grandma's. He's got 2 guys to his left side. Let's see who he pushes here. Let's focus on the decision that he makes. Is he going to get his own loadout? Yeah, he still didn't have his own loadout there. He goes, what? TR2, which did get nerfed, but was crazy. And he's got TR2 Gunfighter with the LC10 that he had before. So he's going to push his living quarters team. Look at his crosshairs. Just watch that green dot. Constantly look at this. Constantly think about where enemies might be. And look at where he puts that dot. Look at that angle that he has right there. No other UAV does. Look at that dot. Look at that dot. Look at that dot. It's just his set. He's always, and that's another area that's so, oh my gosh. You know, it's really sad because I never used this TR2. I never used it. Guys, if you haven't already, like I said, my whole goal is just to help you become a better player. Make sure you are subscribed down below. Follow along for a little bit. See what happens. I guarantee you don't get worse. That's for sure. In this building. Knight's going to play a little positioning. But he remembers info. Right? So instead of just pushing up top, he is still a little bit worried about these guys right here. Because technically speaking, if he's playing rooftop right here, these guys would have an angle to down him. And again, with how fast that TTK is, you've got to be really, really careful. Flying in. Obviously, he's just keeping control of fights really, really well. Oh my gosh, I don't know what that was. Be careful. He's last, and he just clears that with his teammate. What do you notice right here? So he saw this on minimap and immediately worked his way over here. Why? So first of all, I don't think you guys catch this on minimap. I think you guys see that, you know, you get this kill. Okay, you're like worried, okay, what's my teammate? Oh, I got to go revive my teammate. I got to, you know, oh, let's make sure we have loot and all this stuff. He looks over here and sees this guy, and the natural play for this enemy is what? What is this enemy? What's there a good probability of this enemy doing? Third partying and pushing based off that, right? So Knight immediately works his way over here because if this guy jumps and Knight breaks this guy, or, you know, ideally he can get the down. But if Knight breaks this guy, he can put the pressure on and then get the down, right? And you try to catch this guy. He's trying to third party you, so you catch him trying to third party. Your fight's not over yet. Look at this angle right here that he's playing based off of. Uh-oh. What angle is that guy playing from? Oh, there it is. That guy got the thirst. Wow, Knight has done all this and he's still minus 57 SR. He's trying to be careful here because he knows that his blue teammate is like last alive essentially. I mean, he's not last alive, but if Knight goes down, he's putting a lot of faith in a random. Oh my gosh. He absolutely just did it to him. Okay. Let's see. Let's talk about how. Let's talk about how. First things first. Little bit of attack sprint here. Let's slow this down here. So he's caught a little bit of attack sprint and he just comes down. So he doesn't slide cancel or anything like that. Obviously, you know, this is aim right here, right? But more importantly, there's the down. Here's enemy number 2. Takes advantage of quick fix, but he just commits to the hip fire. And this hip fire right here is all about quick. This hip fire is because he's using quick fix. But actually, that's kind of one of the few times we've seen him really, really use movement to his advantage. And why does he use movement? Because he hears the enemy and he knows that he has to take less damage in this gunfight because he's down to, you know, no plates, right? So he pushes through. That's going to obviously break this guy's camera right here, that little slide. And then he's going to jump back the direction that he came from. That doesn't really make a big difference in this case because that guy was shooting at his teammate, actually. But ultimately, he's able to create enough of a window there with just basic movement. Ooh. Yeah, we heard the footsteps up there. Look at the centering. Look at the centering right here. High damage areas. Little bit of strafing. Right? There's your strafing right there. That's what strafing does for you. And notice what else? No jump, right? No jump. Just straight committing to the strafe. I actually have felt, and somebody brought this up to me, and I kind of agree, that strafing at times, or sorry, jumping at times kind of throws things off. So we kind of see it here that it's not really necessary, especially in those normal gunfights with how fast the TTKs. Oh, they're going advanced UAV here. Advanced UAV is so huge when it comes to that information that you can see everything now. Like, you can see this guy's live, right? We can literally watch where this guy's moving to. Yeah, Knight's just going to do recon. Which I wouldn't recommend on normal resurgence, but obviously on ranked, when we're talking about winning being the most important thing, it's kind of a must. What do we got? 3 over here? What's he using? PA? Yeah, and he can watch exactly where these guys are going to move to. Because of that advanced UAV. I don't know why he called the PA in. Well, I guess that's why. Uh-oh. Is he gonna work his way up? Yeah, they've got to find a way to get these kills. Okay, we obviously knew circle rotation already. Uh-oh. Where are we going from here? The fact that he's still minus 36 SR with 15 kills is wild. Are any of you guys playing ranked? Let me know down in the comments below if you're playing normal, resurgence, or ranked. And I do want to give a huge shout out to the Noti gang, guys, as always. I cannot thank you guys enough for all the love and support on the videos day in and day out. It is absolutely unreal. Okay, now what? Now we start to really slow this down a little bit. You know, and I think the biggest thing that we can see is obviously aim being the most important thing. I'll put my practice video down in the pinned comment below on how to get better aim. But that information, constantly working towards next fight, hip firing, well, I guess it would be information centering, hip firing, basic movement. You know, that's really what allows us to consistently win gunfights, even against super sweaty players. You know, at the end of the day, if you're struggling, if you're losing to super sweaty players, it's just because they're doing those things better than you. A lot of it, what it comes down to is actually centering, is first shot. Centering and tracking is the biggest area that a lot of you guys struggle. Is he going in? Yeah, he's going in. Oh, no, that guy's one shot. Watch this. Watch his centering here. Watch his centering as he pushes through. Okay. Centering. Centering. Now, I love this play, right? He knows that this guy's going to keep pushing this way. So what does Knight do? He just clears the corner there. Pre-fires. Tries to... He obviously gets the hit marker. He doesn't get the full kill or get the down. Where'd this guy go? In the water. Yep. Flashed enemy in the water. That's great. Where is this enemy? Dude, that is so ridiculous. It is so annoying that you can't get that kill easier. Are we going advanced? This should be advanced UAV here. For endgame. I also feel like we got to start thinking about, like, where we're going to play. Because I feel like we don't want to be... Oh, they're going to focus on... Uh-oh. Where are these guys? Where's... Got him. I mean, just same thing. Just same thing. Just basic. There's no fancy movement here. Strafing. Strafing. And if you guys want, here's what you need to watch. You can watch this or you can watch this. Okay, watch either the railing or watch the left side of the wall. Watch how, like, you see this railing? How he's kind of creating distance left and right? Just all basic strafing. That's actually kind of crazy that he stuck the electrical wire or whatever it is. The phone line, whatever that might be. Oh, buyback. One guy above. He just knows that guy's not on roof. That's just map knowledge there. Oh my gosh. What is this circle pull? This guy's gotta die. Oh, he doesn't. He actually had a thing down. How are they getting out of this? How are they getting out of this? Okay, so they're fighting right now. This is a 1v3 right here. Oh, I think that team just got over-aggressive. They're going to have to fight out of it. Oh, 1v3 again. Or, sorry, 3v3. Head glitch. Playing the head glitch. Broken. Both broken. But still in such a bad spot. Oh, my gosh. This is insane. We'll talk about this a little bit here. Especially this last one. Oh my gosh, man. That's just so crazy. That's so crazy. I mean, 23 in a diamond lobby, guys, is nuts. That's nuts. Where do we even go back to? Here, I want to talk about this, okay? So he knows, first of all, guys, when you have this situation, when you're low ground with circle pulling all the way over here, like, you're going to have to fight your way out of this, which is borderline impossible for the large majority of us, right? This would be very, very difficult even for me here, right, to fight out of this. Now, of course, they make a mistake getting over aggressive. There's no reason. That is a no down situation if you're this enemy. There's no reason that you should have gone down there. Now, they ultimately buy back, but then you take one enemy out of the fight. You take one enemy who has to then go buy back. Now, this guy also doesn't have any guns and stuff. Kind of puts the whole squad in a bad spot. But first things first, positioning, right? We want to talk about this right here. Just not overcommitting, right? Anytime you get a break, it opens up a little window for you to move, right? So he broke one and broke two, and you can kind of see him like he's itching to move. That's going to give him, one guy to his right. And then obviously from here, he just, that's a good thing that they both are low plates. That guy didn't have any. Buys himself a little bit of time. And then we obviously go to the snaking. For those of you guys who don't know, snaking, all you're doing is pulling back on your left stick and going prone, and then you push forward to essentially tack sprint. So that's what he's doing right here. So he's pulling back, and then he goes prone, and then notice his gun's up in the air real quick, which allows him to kind of tack sprint forward and get up quicker. But he doesn't overcommit. All he's trying to do, basically, they never actually see him. Fun fact, when he's doing this, when he shoots this guy right here, this guy, ignore this bullet, because this guy's not actually shooting at night. This guy's just shooting at the head glitch where night is. This guy and this guy never actually see night on their screen. He never actually pops up. Drops down again. Obviously drops down again. Pops up. Is able to get that kill. Yeah! And that one's probably the craziest play we've seen. But outside of that, it was all just information, basic movement, centering his crosshairs, making sure he's hip firing. Obviously, aim's the most important thing. So go ahead and click on the practice video down in the pinned comment, guys. Make sure you check that out. Start to work on that stuff. And now I'm going to go ahead and jump into Verdansk. So for Verdansk here, we're going to be breaking down some gameplay from Huskers, who is hands down one of the best Warzone players out there. And in this game in particular, he just pieces together a really good high kill solos win. So throughout this entire game, we're just going to keep it simple. We're just going to ask how. How does he never lose his 1v1 fights? What does he do to consistently win gunfights? And I should add, he's on keyboard and mouse. He's not on controller. He doesn't have aim assist. Obviously, keyboard and mouse is a pretty big disadvantage. It's not a secret. I won't shy away from it. But it's also going to allow us to see what happens when gunfights don't go perfect, because his aim kind of gets him into trouble at certain moments, not because it's bad, but just because he's on keyboard and mouse, and it's a tough input to play on. Yeah, this is a pretty easy one right here. How? Okay. Now, we're going to obviously talk about aim, but I want to focus on everything else as well. You know, this is a really tough spot to be. You know, we see this guy pushing in here. Obviously, Huskers is caught with his knife out. So what does he do first? We get to cover. Okay. Now, in this moment, he still has his knife out. So there are certain moments where we are absolutely going to have to move first and shoot second. We're going to have to kind of create a little bit of a window by moving first, and then use that window to shoot and give ourselves that advantage. And in this case, all Huskers does is go prone and then kind of pop right back up. That's going to throw his enemy off just a little bit. And even though he's on keyboard and mouse, we still see that strafing to take less damage. If you're on controller, strafing is going to allow you to take less damage. It's also going to allow you to increase your rotational aim assist. That's a big part of what makes controller the significantly better input in Call of Duty. So you want to make sure you're taking advantage of it. He's going to go for specialist here. Huge advantage when we have every single perk in the game. No, it absolutely is an advantage. But I think more importantly, just making sure you're prioritizing loadout. Loadout guns, you're going to feel more comfortable. You're going to have, you know, a good TTK. You're going to have better range, better mobility, less recoil. And, you know, on top of that, perks are a huge advantage when it comes to outplaying enemies. Things like, you know, bird's eye for information, quick fix, tempered, you know, scavenger so we can get more UAVs up. One guy outside here. Yep, we see on radar right here. We see on minimap. We hear the shooting. We see him right there. Look, let's see if this guy pushes in. Okay, point number one right there I want to highlight. Point number two right there. Point number three. Okay, 3 points to really highlight in this gunfight. Number one, obviously be head on a swivel. Okay, so we know that this guy here is probably going to try to push in because he knows specialist is open. He landed at overlook. So he knows the door's open. He's going to try to get it. not a point, but point number one, okay, is don't over challenge, especially for you that are still working on your aim and really trying to kind of get better aim, especially when it comes to tracking enemies. Notice how he doesn't overcommit here. He kind of doesn't like the start that he gets. I actually think if you look close enough, I think some of his bullets get blocked by the chair. Like right there. Yeah, some of his bullets might have gotten blocked by the chair. But Huskers goes, hey, I don't feel like I got off to a good jump. I'm not hitting my shots well right here. I can feel myself taking damage. So what does he do? He just backs off, right? And he kind of uses this box right here to break that line of sight. So a huge dynamic when it comes to winning gunfights in certain moments, especially against better players, is not over challenging and not feeling like, oh, I've got to just keep shooting or I'm going to lose. Just back off that fight. Now from here, watch how often he keeps his eyes on this enemy. Keeps his eyes, right? So what do we see right here? We see this guy moving this direction. So what is Huskers going to do? All he's going to do is slide back, use this locker as cover. Now, what does he do from here, right? We want to keep eyes on this enemy. He doesn't just sit back here and just sit and play up and then figure it out, right? He's going to go ahead and keep eyes on this enemy. And by the way, we still have to reload. We only have 19 bullets in the mag. So he's going to keep eyes on this enemy here. He obviously sees that he slides out. Okay, now he's going to anticipate this guy going this way. Broken. Now, this is the moment where he's going to reset. But watch what he does here. One more time. See that right there? See that little jump? Again, just trying to get the information about where this enemy is. This way, we're not guessing, right? We're not going in blind when we go to challenge again. He's keeping eyes on this enemy. If this enemy right now tries to push, Huskers has him right where he wants him. Perfectly, right? So don't just sit stationary behind cover and plate up, right? Make sure we're moving back and forth. And now from here, we just see the centering dynamic. Putting our crosshairs where we think enemies are going to be. We know that guy's right there. Yeah, we don't like that. Lodger is really, really awkward to use. We still got some action around us here.
Marker against the guy through all these floors and shit. That's kind of insane.
Do we have loadout here or no? I don't think we have loadout here. Good shots right there. I don't know if I mentioned this, guys, but my practice video is down in the pinned comment. If you are looking to get better aim, I forget if I mentioned this or not. Whether you have Black Ops 6 or not, it's in the pinned comment on how to practice. Whether you have 1 hour a day, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 5+ hours a day to play. Also, if you guys are looking to get better at Warzone, I always say this. Just give me 30 days. Subscribe down below, see what happens. I promise you will become a better player. And if not after 30 days, let's be honest, you can always unsubscribe. I totally get it, but I guarantee you that is not going to happen. I've been doing this for years now. I've helped thousands of players. Just give me a chance. See what happens.
It up.
Yeah, he knows this guy. This is just remembering information, right? Full kill right there. Obviously, he sees this guy flying up top. So we just remember that information as he goes to challenge here. Right, so now when we circle back and then we go ahead and climb up this ladder, we've got to be ready for that enemy to be up top there, right? We got to be ready and expect this enemy to be up here, potentially trying to challenge us, whatever it may be. But he's just going to leave him. We going down to get loadout here? You won't. Hey, sometimes you just gotta take the shot and see what happens. Okay, loadout down. My guess is the double loadout for double gunfighter. He's got advanced UAV in pocket. He bought self-revive there. You know, guys, when we talk about that self-revive dynamic, especially if you're a solos player, huge to get because it prevents the one-shot snipe situation from Narnia, right? Last thing we need is to get one-shot snipe from Narnia and we can't self-revive and we're just dead, right? And that ruins our game. You know, we want to save Gulag for as long as possible. Try to get that. He's got the TR2. Try to get that self-revive early. Is he going to pop advanced here or no? Is he just going to work his way back up?
If you hit a shot like that?
He might just work his way back up. You can see, very similar to what we talked about with the melee. He's got his bat out here. You know, just gives us a little... When we talk about winning gunfights, guys, what does melee do for us? Just allows us to move quicker, move more fluid, right? If somebody does shoot him in this moment, he's the fastest he can possibly be. That's going to be a pretty big advantage for him. Where is this guy? Oh. I love it. 3 things. What are they?
I don't know how much I trust.
Let's go back to what we talked about the first time. Okay? Not over challenging, right? Huskers knows right here. He's in a little bit of a weird spot. You know, he's got the TR2 versus the LC-10. We'd rather have the LC-10 out in this situation because it is our close quarters gun. But more importantly, Statistically, it has a faster TTK, right? So what does he do? Backs off, right? Backs off, breaks that line of sight, uses quick fix, and then here's the next big thing. Hip fire, hip fire, hip fire. I'll repeat it. Hip fire, hip fire, hip fire. You gotta trust it. You're on controller, get in the habit of pulling that trigger, or even on keyboard mouse. Shoot your gun before you aim down sight. Trust your hip fire with your SMG. Even though this isn't an SMG build, or sorry, this isn't a hip fire build, you're still going to be really accurate with it. And then, of course, we see that strafing back and forth to take less damage. Pop UAV, that's big. That's super, super helpful. Notice that centering right there to the top of the stairs. Didn't just assume that this guy... Yeah, look at him clear, right? He doesn't just assume that this guy is all the way on the rooftop. Now, he most likely is, but technically speaking, above Huskers right in this corner right here is technically right here, right? Where else is it? Watch, as he pushes up here, Huskers is also going to check right here. Just to clear it, just to make sure, right? We're pretty sure the guy's not in there, but let's just 100% confirm. Let's just 100% confirm that. On his level. Now, this is where keyboard and mouse players have broken stuff. Yep. So that's a keyboard and mouse trick right there. Controller players, you're going to have to deal with that. He throws smoke to take away the controller player's aim assist. He has tracker. It's how controller... And that gives keyboard and mouse players the advantage, by the way. If you're a keyboard and mouse player, chuck those smokes, sit in it, take away their aim assist. You already play with no aim assist. First shot advantage. First shot advantage in centering, right? Very, very simple. He's just working this direction, sees this guy rooftop. You know, probably gives us a 50 health advantage, but at the end of the day, that first shot is so important throughout gunfights, guys. Generally speaking, whoever gets first shot wins. And then he just obviously cleans that up and executes very, very easily there.
Fuck you, asshole.
Is he going to pop advanced here, or is he saving it? He should pop advanced, I feel like. He's just looking. People are going to be like, I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, Joe, what is he aiming at in tower? Oh, Joe, what's he aiming at right there? Oh, what's he looking over this direction for? Well, first of all, there were people over that direction. But more importantly, oh, why is he aiming right here? He's looking, right? He's got a little bit of high ground. He can obviously look, he could see. Well, technically, that's really funny. I didn't see this guy until now. Like, look how far he can see because he's got that high ground. I don't think he sees the sniper. That's... The TR2 was so crazy. Oh, man. Oh, man. This is normal resurge... Or normal battle royale. I think solos has just been interesting lately. Oh, my gosh. Solos has just been super, super interesting lately. Do you feel like they added bots to solos?
Wow.
Or no? And by the way, even here... Like, obviously, that's not the best player of all time. But even here, he's got cover, right? So even if this guy does shoot him, he can easily get out of this situation. Yeah, I feel like solos lately has been just a huge mix of players. I mean, players that I think were bots all the way up to, like, super, super sweats. I still can't believe he hasn't popped advanced yet. I guess it's just...
Casual? No?
Did you hear that? Somebody asked him in chat, is this casual? And he was like, nope.
Yo, Greg, thank
That's
you very much
just
for the
Verdansk solos
41
at times.
And Smarada, thank you for the 20.
He's already at 10 here. This guy's back in Overlook.
Herm, thank you again for the 54, if I didn't already catch that one.
He's got 28 grand. Cash flow is such a huge advantage. Where are we going from here? Also, no heartbeat sensor.
Super
right?
Lobby.
That's always a big advantage if we can get that from an information perspective. Allows us to wander a little bit more confidently because we can use that to figure out where enemies are.
I mean, it's
Where
hit
are
or
we?
miss. Like last solo's lobby was pretty sweaty.
Oh, he's on the other side. Yep, he just saw him. Look at the positioning. Where are we going? Down he goes.
Bro, what the fuck?
Where was this guy? Huskers didn't even get a shot off on him. So, like, this is one where I don't even think he lost the gunfight. Oh, my gosh. This guy's on controller, by the way. Look at that on controller. That guy hit more shots on Huskers with a floor loot FFAR than Huskers did with the Ladra on that guy that tried to take a specialist in the specialist room. Yeah, it's just a little bit unfortunate. That was a really weird play by that guy. I mean, good play to play the head glitch there. Good play to play the head glitch there and kind of take out Huskers, but that's unfortunate. I don't really view that as like a head-on 1v1 fight that he lost. Is he going back?
Slowly move without making any audio.
And that too. Guy didn't make any audio. No noise. Where is this guy? That's a very aggressive play. To fly right back in on his stuff. Not a huge fan of that. I think it's very, very risky in this situation. If I were you, go get loaded. Go land on your loadout, reset. And you can always come back here and try to find that guy to get specialist back, but... Oh. Now he knows this guy's... Oh my gosh, he's going to do it again. Notice he doesn't overpeak this, though. Right? Watch him just shoulder this to get the information. Right? Because he doesn't... These head-on 50-50s, guys, they're awkward. Especially with him being on keyboard and mouse. Like, he can lose to a below-average controller player because of aim assist. It's just the reality of it. So he doesn't overpeak it. He just backs off out of there. Right? Now he resets. Quick plate. And now we go ahead and center our crosshairs again. Push through. Shoot that guy in the back. Really kind of use his brain there and really think about what that enemy is trying to do. He's at 12 already. Are we popping Yui here?
Did you guys know that, by the way? Did you know? So, like, on mouse and key,
let's
the only
learn.
movement keys are WASD, right? And so, like, if you want to move really slow, you kind of have to, like, tap W. The thing is, even doing this, you can hear that I still make, like, a little footstep sound. The fact that on controller, if you, like, barely move your thumbstick forward, you can actually be moving without making any audio at all.
Yeah.
It's just like...
And he's got a point. He's not wrong. Yeah, controller, you could just barely touch that left stick and you'll move without making noise. What did he do? I'm confused. Did he pop advanced? One guy down below. I'm surprised he doesn't go get into the action more.
It's not that big of a deal, but like it's just another thing that's like you can do on controller, but it's actually impossible to do on mouse and key.
He's not wrong. Guys, here's the reality, and I don't want to spend too long on this. Controller, whether you like it or not, controller is the dominant input on this game. It is what it is. Nice. That's just tracking with the one tap. The one tap is crazy. The TR2 was wild.
To answer your question,
and obviously he's got good positioning up here.
That you can set.
Guy's trying to do the recon drone. This is definitely an easy lobby. And this is one where, guys, if you get this, like, you better take advantage of it.
You can't even ADS. Bro, even if you move like this.
I actually feel like I should do a keyboard and mouse video soon. Let me know down in the comments if you guys think I should. I think that could be fun. Or maybe it's the most miserable experience of my life and I shouldn't do it. What do we got here? What's he doing? Bounty? Is he going hunting a little bit? And look, when we talk about winning 1v1s, guys, such a big dynamic of it is information. You know, and trying to understand where people are. You know, in this case, he does not have anything to work off of, right? So let's just go grab bounty contract. You know, he's got everything else. He's got specialists. He's got his loadout guns.
For a bunker.
He's got gas mask. He's got self-revive. You know, he has everything you need. So now it's time to go hunting. And that's really what it should be. It should be loadout, kills, endgame. That's what. That's how we split it up.
I mean, that's just not true.
Play a little bit of positioning. Enemy nearby.
And no one was complaining about it.
Down below. Yeah, and that's, again, just we play that positioning. We put ourselves in a really good position.
Why did they
That is one of the most important parts of Verdansk. If you can remember one thing from this video, Like, I would love for you to just really, really work on that positioning dynamic. You know, putting yourselves with high ground, putting yourselves with cover, where even if he goes down in a certain situation, right? Like, if he goes down, if he gets one-shot sniped there, you know, say that guy just quick scopes him in the face. He can self-revive, right? And it's not that, it's super easy.
What if there was a
so
bug before?
playing that high ground,
for 5 years.
obviously he ultimately gave it up once he got the break and kind of put the pressure on. But like, always think about high ground first. Why is he getting high ground here? He's gonna fly. He wants to fly over to the heli, if I had to guess. So it's one of those where, like, the more we can play our positioning and get high ground and put ourselves in those low risk, high reward situations, the better off you're gonna be. And then it's just about hitting your shots. We popping W. We're popping big here, right? And he bought another one.
If I am crouched away doing.
Okay, back in heli we go. Where are we floating over to? I mean, he's got nobody around him.
It's like, because even without Artist War audio, you can still hear people that are like crouched ADSing.
Right side?
It's just
he's leaving him
a little easier.
Trying to get into the action, if I had to guess. Probably trying to get into the action here. I mean, this is where you can pick your fight. But, like,
It's a flawed game design.
Yep, good shots. Challenges that guy. That guy panics there because of the heli. Car? Yeah, that guy just isn't 100% sure what to do. He's got a sniper out on a rooftop, and he's in a really bad spot. Husker flies straight on him with the LC-10 out. Okay. Where are we going from here? There's that guy. Watch the guy to your left side here, though. Oh, my gosh. Gotta hit shots there. Jump spot. Where's this guy? Back outside? EA. This guy's got to be down low. Look at how he clears it all. And then he does that. And then he does that. I mean, that's just, it's so, I mean, I think one of the most important things to take away from this when we look at how is notice he doesn't just fly through, right? He's always just checking, right? He's always just making sure that when we talk about clearing buildings, it's all about process of elimination. Joe, I died at campers in corners. Yeah, because you're not clearing those corners well enough. So in this situation right here, obviously he's going to use that thermite. He would love for the thermite to get a little bit more inside here. We end up seeing that it's really stuck to the door, but even that right there, right? This guy could very well be in this bathroom. So Huskers checks it real quick. Now he's got a better sense of where this guy is, but obviously hasn't done any damage. Now he's obviously going to go to, you know, the smoke trick here. He's got tracker. We see the strafing. Peeks out, jumps out. Pretty easy kill. And then there was another enemy over here somewhere that we got to keep in mind. Where is he? And Huskers is cooking at 17 already. Already cooking at 17.
With Artist War audio. Good indeed.
Checking predictable spots, right? Look at all three, right? People love to play there.
Good indeed.
People love to play there. People love to play there. Checking predictable locations of where enemies are. Again, trying to get that gameplay strategy advantage if he can. You have Yui. You have Yui here. There you go. Uh-oh. How are we going to go kill this guy? Because this guy's above him. Don't know where above him, though. Could be in any of the rooms. Oh. Look at him refocus to the easier kill. Right? Refocused for a second to the car. Just in case that guy, like, over peaks or over, you know, pushes the wrong direction. We're there to easily clean up that kill. One up top. And that guy straight across in red. This is the one thing I don't love about thermites. You damage yourself. Wow, look at all the strafing. All the strafing and all the hip firing. Pre-fires as well, right?
Oh.
Yeah, that's huge. Oh. Is he going up? Wow. Again, just all the hip firing, right? But where does this start, right? So if you really look at this, well, it starts right here, okay? So we see this guy. We know he's over there. We knew he was over there before because he pulled up in the car.
Oh.
We hear the parachute, and then the guy, you know, we hear some footsteps of, like, the tin on the rooftop. So we hear that. We hear him slide. We use the thermite to do damage, right? So that's going to give us an advantage in the gunfight. Also forces the enemy out of the little cubby, which gives Huskers a little window to fly up there, right? Then what do? We immediately go to cover, center crosshairs, anticipate. We obviously use a lot of hip firing right there to track. Able to get that kill. There's your sweat, and Huskers makes it look so easy because of that centering dynamic and obviously just the basic movement. I mentioned this with Night and Rebirth, like nothing fancy at all, right? We don't see any YY. We don't see this crazy, you know, 360 type thing. It is all just, right now, it is all just good shots.
Oh my God.
It is all just strafing. It's slide canceling to centers, crosshairs, and strafing. That's it. I would love for you guys to take that away. Really focusing on that information dynamic, because right here, it's very clear nobody's around us. We have bird's eye, so we're in a really good position on that front to know that we can rotate out and push somebody else. But that information dynamic, and then just centering. Centering, and then hip fire and strafe. That is where I would really love for you to focus on winning gunfights. Slide cancel to the center of your crosshairs, strafe a little bit, and hip fire before you ADS.
He reported you for sure? That's all right. I'm Thanos. I can't get shadow banned.
Where are we going? Uh-oh. Sniped from the right. I would have challenged to the right side. That guy was completely out in the open, although this guy's not far behind him. Yeah, I would have been really tempted to, like, right here as I'm pushing up.
Shadow banned.
So the way this, whenever I get like shot at or sniped at, whatever it may be, like I always look at minimap. So right here, I probably would have looked. Maybe a little bit later. No, it would have had to be in the middle there. So I guess I could see how he missed that. Checking back behind because he knows there's people back there. He's not in a bad spot here. Oh my gosh. He's got the long range. Thermites. Come on. Unfortunate. Back in the car. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Always one shot. I mean, not one shot, but... And he's just playing positioning right now. This is where it's super, super important, guys, to understand that sometimes you got to slow down on this map and not play 1,000,000 miles an hour all the time. And just slow down a little bit and, you know, play that positioning. Play that high ground.
Oh, I don't like it. I hate single tapping.
Thing's wild. Let's push this forward a little bit. Oh, let's see what we're working with.
Oh, I like that scope.
Oh, shot from behind.
I don't know
from
what
where?
other scope
Restaurant?
to use.
Oh, we saw him peek. Again, same thing. Right? Oh, no. That sucks. But here's the important part.
Oh, I like that
right?
scope.
How many of you just sit right here? You just sit and you played up and you're safe, and then you go figure out what your next move is from there in terms of challenging this enemy. But because Huskers
I don't know what else
just peeks this a little bit, he sees this guy jump down right here.
scope to
Right? We
use.
see him jump down, and now Huskers knows that we got this guy out in the open. Obviously, you know, a little bit tough to hit shots right there, so let's see what he does. Where is that enemy going to play? Where is that enemy going to play? That enemy 100% is going to play top red. Guaranteed. 2 guys back behind. There's that guy in the car again. Man. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes. We got top green and over to the left. Good. Another UAV up. Obviously, you got to worry about over the left side here. This is just going to be a positioning kill here because this guy has to rotate to him. He's should just play the head glitch. Yep. Perfect. He's just going to wait for him. I wouldn't even move. I would just sit here. Good luck.
Yeah,
oh, he is.
Aimed at me.
Fuck you, asshole.
Top bank.
Doesn't see him yet.
Someone just aimed at me.
Yeah, you just got to be really, really careful of your cover. Just play that little head glitch right there. Yeah, that's, I mean, that's just, that's a crazy head glitch that he's on. Just doing a really good job of playing positioning. And this is where, like, Rebirth is very movement heavy with the, you know, positioning to open up fights. Verdansk is just positioning, and then movement. You know, solos, we could take more of those head-on 50-50s, those 1v1s, and use the movement. But the reality is that positioning dominates this game. Positioning dominates Verdansk. And you've really got to get in that mindset of always keeping track of your cover.
Bear, thank you for the
you know,
45.
not rotating out in the open. Or if you are rotating out in the open,
thank you.
make sure you're aware that you're in a susceptible position. You know, make sure you have smokes and use them. Make sure you rotate piece of cover to piece of cover. So you got to stay top red here. Oh, shot in the back. So he knows that this guy's over here dead. See ya. PA? PA from where?
Fuck it.
He's going to drop down. Uh-oh. I mean, he's still in a great spot here. 3 enemies left. 1 on bank. So we know where everybody is. That's the crazy part. It's 1 in bank and 2 across the road. Right? So we know where everybody is at this point. This is where those late game UAVs are just so valuable. He's gonna smoke it. That's insane. That's so... I mean, I respect it. That's a great play by keyboard and mouse players. Uh-oh. No. Uh-oh. Can we force him out? Wow, he was just short. Just short again. Just short again. He's got high ground. He's in circle. He's in a great position here. I think actually one of the biggest takeaways for you today is the positioning dynamic. You know, making sure that you always have cover. You always have somewhere that you can break that line of sight to.
Yeah,
to get replated. But also just the high ground dynamic.
Very disappointed in them. It sounds like the meta after the update tomorrow is still going to be Krieg and LC10.
Where is this guy?
Unless one of the new like,
1v1
aftermarket parts for like that SVD or whatever.
1v1.
Where the tier 2 is like insane.
Where is this guy?
They aren't. I think the meta's gonna be the exact
I don't want
same.
to push it forward because
this is also
I don't know where he is.
This is for ranked and comp, by the way. If you're playing pubs, then I don't know. Maybe one of the MW3 guns will be good. But
where is this guy? Trying to find the information.
Guns only.
Right.
Yeah,
just playing head glitches if he can. What are we doing here?
Oh, there's only 1 guy left. Holy shit.
He said there's only 1 guy left. Oh, not over challenging, right? We see that once again. The not over challenging dynamic. You know, not being too over aggressive in that situation, making sure he backs off that fight before he ends up going down. A lot of you guys probably go down there. Oh my gosh. This guy's passionate. This guy can't have plates, right? Oh, through the car. Nice. And he's going to use the... Yeah, he uses the LC... Or, sorry, uses the thermite. Yep. But he uses the thermite here to kind of put the pressure on him because you can see... I think he actually does a little bit of damage there. Yeah, right there he does. But obviously, this is the last thing that we see here. Cover, right? Even a loadout crate is super good cover. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.